What's up, Jackrabbit?
It's been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time.
My friend, I haven't seen you since Missouri,
I know, and now you're home.
and we're both phlegmy.
Yeah, we're both home. Exactly where we wanted to be.
No, Tenney missed the boat.
In more ways than one.
The last episode, as y'all will recall, I was melted and dead in Las Vegas in my friend's spare room dying from COVID. So then I haven't had it this whole time. So then I realized it was shitty as fuck. So then I got on your ass and I'm like, Tenney, go get your booster. I'm worried about you. I don't want you to get sick. And then you got mad. And now I know why you got mad, because you already probably knew.
Yes.
And then, yep. And then what happened?
And then I tested myself the day before I left for Europe and positive for COVID. And then I tested again on the day I was supposed to fly to Europe, positive for COVID. Motherfucker.
I literally can't believe we both got struck down at the same time, but separately.
Let me just tell you, having COVID is not great.
No.
But having COVID when you were supposed to go to Europe for 2 weeks, and so you spend your vacation unpacking your bag, is soul crushing.
And I was telling people like that I was talking to about it, like you had a fucking legit flow chart. Like you made like a Google map with pins on it of all these places you want to go, and you never do that. And I was so excited for you. And I swear when you told me on the phone, I almost started crying. I was like so gutted for you.
I had, oh my God, you don't even know. Like, it's a Tenney thing. Like, I had UFO landing locations that no one goes to. I have streets that are mentioned in turn of the century ghost stories where people would see ghosts walking down the alley. Like, no one would go to that stuff but me. No one has sat down with turn of the century, mid 1800s ghost stories and is like, oh, if I go to London, I'm going to walk down this creepy alleyway that has had 9 different names. Like, I had to track down their names because the names of roads and streets have changed so much in 150 years. But you know what? Unpack and sit on your fucking couch instead.
I know. And like your shit was already paid and stuff too. Like you paid your hotel, you paid for everything. You had to like get your money back. And
yep, I had to call all the hotels and talk to the cruise service and then tell Amy. Like, I didn't literally test it. I was like, maybe my positive test on Sunday is just like maybe it's just wrong. Mm-hmm. And so I waited till Monday, literally like 5 hours before my flight, and I tested again and it was positive. And I think Amy Bruni who had put this whole thing together, like, when I texted her, she was getting her luggage from Heathrow Airport. Like, she had just landed and I was like, I have COVID.
Yeah. And I don't fucking know. I don't know at what point I got it. You kind of don't know what point you got it, but this strain that's going around right now is obviously catchy as fuck, because me and you have done a lot of shit since, I mean, obviously for like the first year and a half of the pandemic, we literally didn't leave our house. We were so careful. And then obviously some people started creeping out and we did some events, and I went to UFC a few times and I was fine. And this time it was just like, boom, roasted.
Boom, roasting.
I know, we were so hot. COVID makes you so hot.
First of all, you know this. I've said this to you before. I already run hot. Mm-hmm. I'm hot-blooded. Like, I can walk around in the summer or in the winter time. I'm one of those Michigan people that can like go outside in shorts and a t-shirt. I don't, because I don't dress that way, but like, I don't have any problem taking my trash out with no shoes on in the snow. Like, I run hot.
Yeah, I do that too. I'm always hot. I have so much hair on my head. It's like having a blanket on my fucking head. I'm always hot. And then I got Rona in Nevada, where it's 115 fucking degrees right now. And I woke up for 4 days straight, just like wet.
Did you try and fry an egg on your head?
I should have. Bro.
That's not the way you're supposed to wake up wet in Vegas.
No, that's not the exact wrong way. Not from Rona. From other things. And like, I like bless my friend's heart who kept me alive all week. She just like put food and beverages outside my door and, you know, let the dog out and checked on me, and it was so fucking shitty. She had such a good attitude about it too. I feel like if it was me, I'd be like, oh my God, there's somebody in my house and they're fucking infected. And she like didn't make me feel shitty at all. And I took the Paxlovid. And then I was there for a week, and then I rolled out the following Monday, which I was still positive, but I couldn't fucking stay there anymore. Couldn't
Right.
stay there forever. So I traveled on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I tested neg on the Thursday.
Just leaving a trail of COVID across the United
know.
States.
I know, I was trying not to. I like wore a mask everywhere, obviously, and most of the places we went on the way home from were like, I went to the ET Highway the first day, like nobody's fucking outside. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I tried to plan it as careful as possible. And then I went to the Salt Flats, the Bonneville Salt Flats. Nobody's fucking there. Nobody's by me.
Did you have fun on the Extraterrestrial Highway?
I did. We went to the research center. We went to the black mailbox, and I put our sticker on it, and I put some extra ones in the door of it. And for those who don't know, the black mailbox on the ET Highway in Nevada is where you can leave little presents and messages to the aliens.
The mailbox used to mark the direction of Area 51.
It's pretty easy to miss. I almost missed it. I was looking for it forever, and then this car pulled over, and I was like, oh my God, thank God they pulled over because I almost missed it.
Yeah. The mailbox, that's like what the mail, it's not to leave aliens messages.
Well, it's got a bunch of stuff in it.
I know it does now, but originally it was put there so that people in the 90s, before Area 51 became a big deal, and even before the X-Files, like when you were driving on that stretch of road, you wouldn't know where Area 51/Groom Lake, where it was at. And so someone put up a mailbox and faced it in a direction so that if you line up the mailbox into the desert, it points toward Area 51.
Yeah, that makes more sense. It's very inconspicuous. If you didn't know that, you would drive right past it. So I guess that is smart, that it would be like a directional thing.
Right.
But like I recorded it for our Patreon video, and I like opened it on the video, and there's just like a fucking iced tea in there. and rocks and notes. I wrote a note from the What's Up Weirdo podcast, and I put it in there. It was on a Burger King receipt because I didn't have any paper.
Did you write blurp, 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 blop, blurp?
Blop.
Did you write in Moonman language?
I think I put, have a safe journey. We love you, Woopod, or something. I don't remember. I was fucking Ronatized in the middle of the desert. Maybe I did write bloop, blop, bloop, blop. I'll have to see what it's on the video. I have no idea.
Well, let's see. My sister did a food drop delivery for me while I was sick. And then since I have no friends, I just stayed in my house by myself. And I told my neighbors, if my house starts to stink really bad, then I'm dead inside.
Chelsea brought you food too.
Yes, that is true.
Yes.
But I did warn my neighbors to look out for body stench in case I died in there.
I was really thinking that at my friend's house too, because you hear those stories of people who just straight up died. Or I mean, even when they felt fine. So I was like, what if I just die in this room? And I'm fine. But we're not dead. We're not dead. But I also went to the Little Ailey Inn, the bar / restaurant on ET Highway, and I took a couple of videos for our Patreon, and then I got yelled at for filming because you're not supposed to film there, and I didn't know. And then I went inside. They let me
top secret.
No, I don't fucking know. It's a little weird bar. I don't know. So then I took the dog inside, and I bought some stuff, and I got a pop, and I got you something, and I got me something, and we got a really cute picture in front of the ET Highway sign, and I put our sticker on the ET Highway sign, the Woopod sticker. I know I had to. There's millions. It's not like it would be the only fucking sticker on there. There's
no, I know. The sign is covered with stickers.
Yeah, I had to. I wouldn't have like defaced it if it was the only one, and then also the one that I put on the mailbox, the whole outside is painted black, but there was like stickers on the inside, so I put our sticker on the inside of the door of the mailbox.
Vandalism. Just a whole tour of vandalism across the United States. Any police officers who are listening to this podcast?
Also I was going to tell you that, okay, so I was at my friend's house for a week. I got that Strange Escapes wine bottle from Belvar from Amy. Listen, that fucking exploded in my car.
It did?
Yeah, it was so fucking hot. It was literally 115. So it was a red wine bottle. I don't know why I thought that would be good until I got home. It's just like slowly dying. And the cork popped right out of the fucking bottle and just unleashed a whole bottle of red wine on my backseat floor. And when I got back in the car, it was so fucking gross. It was like stale, hot, wet wine car.
Is that the name of this episode? Stale, hot, wet wine car?
Yeah, that sounds good. And then from there, from ET Highway, I sent you that weird hotel that I stayed at, that haunted hotel called the Hotel Nevada.
Yep.
You said it was on Ghost Adventures.
Yes. Any
I would
place
not.
that's in Nevada is on Ghost Adventures because Zach Bagans is afraid to fly in an airplane.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Whenever they go to Europe or anything, they have to be a Baracus-im, I think. They either like hit him with a nightstick or they like giving him an injectable and just he passes out and then wakes up in a different country.
I feel like that's like a auction perk that they could offer to people. Hit Zach Bagans in the head with a nightstick before he gets on an airplane. Like people would pay a lot of money for that, I think.
I think there's a lot of people who would travel that way. I think a lot of people don't fly for fear of flying. And I think that there was an option where they were like, you can pay an extra $25 and we'll put this dentist gas mask on you and you'll just crash out.
1,000%. I know. And I was thinking there should be laughing gas on airplanes for sure.
I think sometimes that they do pump a little bit of something into an airplane. Because every time I get on an airplane, I know it's just nerves, but I get on an airplane and then I get real relaxed and then I want to go to sleep. And I think they're putting something in the air a little bit to keep people calm down.
No, I think just the fear of death has just seeped into your brain and you're like, well, this is it. Either this is it or it's not it. So
I just always have to keep in mind that the pilot of the plane doesn't want to die.
Yeah, you say that, but a lot of people.
That's in my brain. That's how I have to think about it. And then I also have to convince myself that the pilot is like having a good day and that his partner didn't break up with him and that like his mortgage isn't overdue.
Yeah.
Because then I can also imagine the pilot being like, taking this fucking plane out.
I know. Flying is the worst. Everybody's like, oh, you were in your car for 25 days. You took a 25-day road trip. I'm like, fuck yeah. At least I wasn't fucking a million miles up smashing into the fucking earth.
Did you see because the cruise that I missed, I had obviously been looking at a lot of cruises and stuff. They have the newest round the world cruise.
What is that?
You go around the world on a cruise ship and it is 370 days on the boat.
Oh, what?
Yeah, but you go all the way around the world, like North America, South America, Africa, India, China, Japan, Europe.
I feel like that would make you go absolutely crazy.
I think being on a boat for a year would make you absolutely mental.
Yeah. That sounds like something that's like a job, like a whaling boat or like a fishing boat. Like you want me to do this for you for free? I'm paying to do this? You don't no.
I feel like the people who work on cruise ships probably swap out at every port because they're like, I'm not going to be on this fucking boat for a year.
No, I'm sure they're not. No.
And they're being paid to be on the boat.
I know. Yeah, no. And maybe if they were going to do that, they would have to make it so it was like not capacity. Like maybe if it was like, oh, there's 50 or 100 people on the boat, not like a million. Like, it's weird.
So years ago, when I had my Japanese toy store, there was this guy who used to come in. His name was Kanto, and he was from Japan, and he was currently living in America, but his brother lived in Japan, and his parents were like, we're going to send you to Japan. And Kanto was super excited because he was going to go to Japan. He hadn't been back there in years and years. And his parents drove him to New York, put him on like a shipping boat to Japan, which means that it had to go like from New York down to Florida, through the Panama Canal, up to California, to Hawaii, to Japan. He was on the boat to go to Japan for 4 months.
What the fuck is that?
He got to Japan. He was there for a week, annoyed the fuck out of his brother, and his brother bought him a plane ticket and flew him home.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Can you imagine that? Spending 4 months to go and see someone, and then you see them, and they're like, you got to get the fuck out of here.
Well, at least he bought him a plane ticket and didn't put him back on the boat. Then he would have just flipped his lid.
And when Kanto came back, I asked him, I was like, what did you do on the boat for 4 months? It's a shipping boat. It's not even like a cruise ship, like a shipping boat.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do for 4 months? And he said, I just talked to the guys. Those guys work on that boat. Can you imagine how annoyed they were with him for 4 months? Just wandering. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you do for 4 months?
That's how people disappear. You could have got thrown off that thing.
That's right.
Crazy. I was going to say, too, when I stayed in Nevada and I woke up, there was like brothels around my hotel, like real ones. It just a big red sign and just say brothel.
Did you go and get a piece?
No, I did not. And I would like to say I'm all for sex workers and whatever people want to do and whatever. I'm all for whatever. But it's just, I was telling Katie and Bex too. I was like, it's jarring though when you like walk out of your hotel and you're on the main street of a main little town, and it's just like, here's a Chinese restaurant, here's a brothel. I'm like, wait, what? Did I read that way? It's crazy. It's wild out there. Wild times in Nevada.
It should be like that all over the place.
I know if they got like tax money and shit for them, that stuff, it would solve a lot of problems. So
Like there should just, I mean, I also like believe that like sex work is work. Like they should be everywhere.
yeah, that was crazy. That was the only place I saw any. Is that the only place that's legal? Is Nevada, or is there anything else?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't either. It seems like it would be like one or two other states too, but I guess I can't think of any. But yo, one of the nights I was in the hotel, I was like bored, and I was like super, because I had just seen it, so I literally looked at the brothels Google reviews, and they were so good. Like the guys were like, the girls are so pretty and nice and blah blah blah, and I had the best time, and I come through every time I'm through town. Like they were so nice, and like one guy was even like, and don't forget that they have to give like a big percentage of their wage to the brothel, so like tip them really good. I was like, well, that was very nice.
Did any of the reviews say slobbed my knob?
I probably, but I was like, they had some pictures of the girls and they were so pretty. I was like, dang,
Rocked my box?
you're so stupid. You're so stupid. I'll have to send you the Google reviews. But what else? We went to the Salt Flats. That was like one of my road trip bucket list places for a long time. I took us a little tiny bit of salt from the Salt Flats.
Yeah, you had to go see where they race all your favorite cars.
I know it's weird. And okay, there's a Mr. Ballin episode too where if you get out on Salt Flats and it starts raining, you can sink and fucking die. So I don't know if it was the Bonneville ones or a different ones, but he has one episode where this guy and this lady went out there and their car sank and they fucking died. So, and it was cloudy when I was out there, so I just kept thinking of Mr. Ballin. I'm like, I'm gonna sink and die.
You're gonna sink and die, and you'd be trapped forever in the salt.
I know, in the salt, but I didn't die. We got really good pictures. I have so many pictures to post of Toady Monk and me.
Did Toad have COVID?
I don't think. I was worried too because he had like a runny nose, I guess, for part of it. And I was reading online that dogs can get it. And like we were locked in that room together for a week. So when I tested positive, I had literally been sharing food with him for fucking days. Like I'm one of those freaks who just, if I'm eating like noodles, I'll just give him a noodle off my fork. Like I don't fucking care. He's my child. So like we eat off the same food. So then when I said I was posy, I'm like, man. So I stopped sharing food with him. Obviously I stopped sharing. And also on the road, when I drink bottled water, I'll like fill up his water from my water. I like stopped sharing water and I stopped like letting him give me kisses and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I found out I had COVID, I stopped sharing food with everybody. I canceled all the parties I was having. I stopped banging all the randos that come over.
Well, this is very informative for me.
Yeah.
You didn't even ask if I banged any randos when I was in Nevada.
Well, I figured you had COVID.
Well, not the whole time I was there, I didn't.
Oh. I actually don't want to know.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you.
I don't want to know.
I could be lying right now. Who knows?
Well, I was lying. I sat in my house by myself for the past week and a half.
I know that. And I have presents for you from the road trip, and I can't even come over yet.
No, you can't. You can come over in August.
August?
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so the rest of my trip, I saw pronghorns, which are so cute. I literally didn't even know what they were when I looked at them. I saw them in a field, and I'm like, did I just discover a new animal? Like, I don't even know what those are. And they're really cute. They have black on their face. They have little horns. So I saw 2 of those. I saw a big jackrabbit in the road, a big one.
Was it a jackalope?
No, I wish it was. I saw 3 elk. They were really big. And I know I told you on here last episode, I saw like a juvenile moose, but guess what? When I was in Wyoming, I saw a giant moose. So I saw 2.
2 moose.
On my trip. He was a big guy. And I saw wild horses. There was a byway thing that I drove by that had wild horses, so I saw those. And there's magpies everywhere out there that I've never seen before. The birds.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Toad just choked. And they make a really weird sound. And what else?
I saw nothing. I sat on my couch and watched Happy Days reruns and every episode of Cold Check. And thanks to all the listeners and people who have reached out to ask if I'm okay. And to all those people who didn't, you can fuck off. Jeez, Pete. Come on.
Come on.
Listen, I know you don't got to check in on your friends every once in a while, but if your friend gets COVID, maybe say, "Hey, are you all right?" I'm just saying, like.
Yeah. I had an awful lot of people reach out to me too, and thank you, obviously, to see if I was okay, to see if I was back on the road, to see if I needed anything. I had some people send me food money and shit. Like everybody's so fucking nice. And then too, like when it got out, when you tweeted that you had it, people were writing to me and seeing if you were okay, and it was really nice. We have like really nice people around us.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. I was gonna tell you too. I haven't talked to you that much about it. But the place where I saw the second moose, it was so fucking pretty. It was. Remember, we've talked about this before. How when we travel, we get like really emotional, and when there's those scenes that are just like look like a movie or like the most beautiful like nature beauty, you just like get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So I was in Medicine Bow. I think it's National Park or State Park in the lower east side of Wyoming. I drove into it. There was a rainbow literally like on top of me the whole time, like driving in the middle of a fucking rainbow. It was like partway sunny, partway raining, the craziest light. It was like magic hour and a rainbow. It was like the dumbest, prettiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like the trees, the fucking mountains. Then I saw that moose. So at one point it got to like a scenic overlook and I'm like under a fucking rainbow. And I like got out and the view was so fucking pretty that I got back into the car and I started laughing and then I started crying. Like I was so overwhelmed. Like to be in that moment, I'm like, nobody is seeing this right now. I can't even believe that I'm like this lucky to be here on this fucking mountain right now under a rainbow. Like what even is this? It was like a simulation. I'm like, this is not real.
Yeah. Yeah. I get like that when I find like a Hershey's Kiss under my couch.
You're so stupid.
Like no one has seen this. No one knows this is here except for me.
No one is feeling this moment.
No one is feeling this moment. I didn't think I had any candy in this house.
The gravity of life and the beauty. No, it was so fucking ridiculous. Like I have it on our Patreon video that I haven't posted yet. And I got out of the car and I'm just like, are you fucking joking? I'm like, are you guys seeing this? Like what? What? And then, that I wrote down too. I'm like, that night when I stayed at the hotel, I was like fucking exhausted. And listen, so that was the night that I got the hot tub because I was like, yeah, I fucking deserve this. And so there was like a giant living room and a hot tub and a bedroom. So I go in the bedroom finally. I'm trying to fall asleep. So you know how it's I mean, you do it anyway, but you know how it's cozy in a hotel to put on something black and white because it makes that like perfect light in the hotel room. So I put on Twilight Zone, of course, and I'm trying to fucking fall asleep. And I'm trying to get the dog to fall asleep. And it's that fucking episode where the devil is like bellowing like a dog.
Oh, The Howling Man. It's a great episode.
Yes, but like, listen, it happens in that episode so many times and the dog kept sitting up and I'm like, why is it? Why? Yes, he's gonna look up right now. It kept happening. I'm like, are you serious? I'm trying to like be cozy and have us nod off and this devil howl keeps happening.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
I know, I thought of you. I'm like, wait till Tenney.
Stars H.M. Wynant, who's still with us, by the way. That guy who plays the main character. Not the guy who plays the devil, but the guy who plays the main character.
Yeah.
You know, the guy, did you see it from the beginning?
No, I don't think so.
The beginning and the end are the best because that's when the guy is like real close to the camera and he's like, and that's why you have to see, you can't open this door. I finally found him. You can't lift that latch. I love it so much. I know. And then it fades to black right as she lifts that little cane away from the door. It's so good. Ugh.
Twilight Zone is so good in a hotel. But yeah. So what else the fuck did I do? I went, I noticed, I tweeted about it already, but I noticed that so many businesses in the West have just a dinosaur statue outside for no reason, like a giant dinosaur. It could be a dentist, it could be a hotel, it could be whatever the fuck. Just here's a giant dinosaur for no reason.
Yeah.
Fully love it. We need more statues here in front of shit for no reason.
I agree. All you really get here is like a giant pig or a giant chicken.
Yeah, we do have the giant chickens quite a bit. Or like an ice cream cone.
But you don't get a lot of dinosaurs. You have Domke's Gardens up north near my parents' house. That's the giant dinosaur park that's up there.
Yeah.
And then there's another giant dinosaur park. Oh, you get Paul Bunyan's in Michigan.
Mm-hmm, true. Yeah, I saw that Yogi Bear that I sent to you.
Yeah, Jellystone.
Okay, I have to tell you about...
Let me tell you about all the amazing things I've seen on my trip to England, France, and Spain.
Well, listen,
I haven't seen anything.
That's not true. You did a show with Rob Huebel on Thursday.
I did his ghost show. It was very fun.
And I watched it today.
Yeah, was it all right?
It was so cute. You told the fucking story that I never heard before.
I did.
Do you want to tell it?
Is it about the family?
Yeah.
No, people have to watch Rob Huebel's Ghost Show to hear that story.
Okay, I put it on our Patreon today, and I'll tweet about it tomorrow. But that was a good story. I was like, what the fuck is this story, man?
Yeah, I got a lot. I've done it for 30 years.
I know you just come out with new. You said something else on that episode where I was like, not that story, but something else good on that episode that he was like, whoa.
I talked about body pits.
Oh yeah, body pits, and like how there needs to be a haunted cruise ship show.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Would people watch a paranormal reality show if it was a bachelor type reality dating show, but it was all like witches and warlocks on a cruise ship?
100%.
I was thinking about that last night.
Yeah.
I was like, can you imagine how insane it would be? Everybody's doing tarot card pulls. Everybody's got crystals and making potions. Like, it would be a must watch thing.
Even not on a cruise ship, even if that was like at a fucking wherever.
I think it would just have to be somewhere excellently strange. And I think a cruise ship would be perfect for it, because you'd also have like the other people on the cruise ship who aren't involved. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, then maybe some of those people like make out with workers and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's got to watch that. It's on twitch.com/friendzone, and it's the newest episode that came out on Thursday. And Tenney's part starts at 1 hour and 37 minutes in.
Yeah, I do the last half an hour of the show.
Yeah, it was really good. He fucking loves you. It's like so natural when you guys talk. You seem like you've been friends for like a million years.
It's just because we're old men.
Oh, when you talked about Robert the Haunted Doll, and you're like, if you take a picture with him without asking him, he'll haunt you for the rest of your life. And he's like, of course he does. And then you did an episode last week too of Bigfoot Collectors Club.
I did that episode too. It was very fun. And I talked about the Michigan Traverse City UFO chase. And I think I posted the audio of that on my Twitter.
I put that in our Patreon too. I don't think did I see you tweet about it? If I didn't retweet it, I'll retweet it. But that's just a Bigfoot Collectors Club on Apple and Spotify. I didn't listen to that one yet.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I posted our Patreon video from our Belvoir road trip, and everybody really liked it, about Hannibal, Missouri, and all the weird stuff we saw. We went to Lincoln's Tomb. We went to Mark Twain stuff. And your lecture was on there. People were like, are people crying at Tenney's lecture? I'm like, yeah, have you fucking never been to one? Duh. Like, shit gets real in there, okay?
It does get real. I cry at my lectures.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I know. They were like, is he crying? Are they crying? I'm like, yeah.
Everybody's crying. Toad's just having a good time.
Oh no, Toad was just vibing out with the biggest smile he's ever done in his life.
Big smile boy.
I know. Somebody commented on that picture. They were like, I love his wide boy smile. I'm like, a wide boy.
By the way, I just posted a picture of Gavin McLeod from Love Boat, and you were complaining about the size of the picture.
Yeah, the picture took up my whole Twitter screen. It was fucking huge.
But it's still smaller than an actual photograph, right?
Okay, I know. But when people do like a long photo and not like a horizontal photo on Twitter, it makes it so big. Like you have to fucking swipe through. So it takes up the whole screen.
Do you know what it's like to be older and have bad eyes and everything has to be seen on your phone? I have to zoom on everything that you post. I have to zoom everything.
I don't even post stuff that's that tiny.
But I have to like pinch zoom your photographs because I'm already looking at it on a screen that's fucking 2.5 inches wide. You
already said that you are on Twitter for desktop all the time, so stop lying.
Yeah, that's true.
You're a psycho. Okay, so I have to tell you about, this is going to be like the longest story I ever told, bro.
Oh my God.
I swear.
Is it at least good?
Yes, it is. But I feel like, okay, I already told the story to Katie and Bex on Marco Polo, and I'm like, dude, I just did that so good, and now I'm going to have to redo it on a pod, and I'm going to fuck it up. But anyway, so I went in Nebraska, there's a place called, I forgot it already.
Here we go.
Bigfoot Crossroads of America Museum and Research Center, right? And it's run by and created by this lady called Harriett McFeely. And she's so cute. She's little. She's like a little sassy grandma.
By the way,
what?
Just because you stopped yourself.
What?
It is proper to say she is called and then say her name.
Oh, I know, but that sounded weird. Like, I don't know.
If you ever watch any British show,
mm-hmm.
you will hear them say, like, if somebody's missing, what's he called? What's she called?
Well, maybe I'm British.
Maybe you are. You're not. You're a COVID-ridden Pollock.
Preach. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
So anyway, this lady who made the museum, who like runs the museum, her name's Harriett McFeely, and she's so adorable. She's very small and she has red hair. And luckily the museum's open like 4 days a week, and I had read on Google that some days she's not open or some days they're closed for COVID. So like the night before, I think, or 2 nights before, I wrote to Lauren Coleman, our friend who runs the International Cryptozoology Museum in Maine, and I was like, do you know Harriet? Can you like give her a heads up for me just in case, because I don't want it to be closed. I'll be so sad. So he emails her. So then I show up. And she was so fucking excited. She's like, it's not every day. She's like, everybody knows who Lauren Coleman is. She's like, you're the girl, right? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, he told me he told me to take really good care of you, blah, blah, blah. So, and then I tried to pay, and she's like, oh no, I'm not going to pay. He said he was going to make a donation to the museum and you're not to pay. And I go, we're going to let him do that, but I'm going to pay you anyway, because the admission was only $5. I tried to give her $20. I'm like, I will hide this in the fucking museum if you don't take it from me right now. So, okay, so she's giving me like the star fucking treatment of the museum, right? So it's just me and her. When I look this place up on Google, and you know how it is with roadside places, I thought I would be there for like 20 minutes, right? I was here for fucking 2.5 hours, just me and Harriet just fucking broing down. Me and Harriet and Toad in her house. And in the museum is like half of her house and an outbuilding, but it's so fucking nice. I'm telling you, it's like the most impressive fucking museum. Like she made all the like cases, all the displays, there's like leaves and sticks and shit hanging from the ceiling. It was fucking incredible. Like I was so stoked. So, and she's like the most amazing storyteller. So she sits me down in the living room, and she has this fucking map and this stick, and she's like pointing out on the map about the places in Nebraska where there's Bigfoots and how they like to hang out along rivers and blah, blah, blah. So she gets like all of this backstory, right? So that lasted seriously for so long. So then she's like, you can go walk around the museum by yourself, blah, blah, blah. Take as many pictures and videos as you want. So then I go around. The first room is like a bone room. Then there's like, and also like usually you go to these museums, there's like one giant Bigfoot. She had like 7 giant Bigfoots. There were so many, and they were so articulated. They were so good. Like you would freak out. So then when me and her were talking about how like, you know, everything seems connected, and usually areas that have like a high likelihood of like ghosts and alien stuff and Bigfoots, like they have it all. You know, if they have one thing, they usually have all of it just because the energy, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, I know. She's like, I didn't believe that at first, but as I get older, I believe that. So she's like, as you'll see, as you get deeper in the museum, I started like a alien part. And she's like, and people will go through this museum and be like, what's with the aliens? And she's like, it's my museum. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. She was like so cute, right? So then she starts telling me, and she's like, another thing that I didn't believe that I've come to believe now is, and you've probably heard about it before, but it was new to me, was that there's this thing where supposedly across every state in the country, Bigfoots have been secretly braiding horses' hair in the night, right? Yeah. So she has, the guy who is like studied it the most has sent her a bunch of photos and a bunch of the horse knots, right? So they're hanging in like this section of the museum, and she tells me the backstory on that. And then also, I guess, like Bigfoot's like red stuff and like red ropes and like wind socks and stuff. So she has a bunch of like knotted up ropes that are supposedly like from farmers that were supposedly braided by Bigfoots, right? So she shows me all that, blah, blah, blah. So then she's like, do you have like 10 more minutes for a story? I'm like, Harriet, I got all fucking day. Like I'm just like eating this shit up. I could not love her more. And she's just gushing about Toad the whole time. Of course, her last dog was a Frenchie Boston. She's had Bostons all her life. And she keeps looking at Toad, and she's like, your mom's going to go home and you're going to stay with me. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, he's not. She was like obsessed with Toad, right? So anyway, so she's like, do you have 10 more minutes for a short story? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this ain't gonna be short. And I sit down, and I swear to you, she tells me the story for like a fucking hour. And this is where I have to tell you the fucking story. And I'm gonna try and tell it to you as short as possible, but it's not gonna.
Wait, this isn't even the story
No,
yet?
That was the intro, baby.
Oh my God.
I told you you're gonna have to edit this shit into 2 episodes.
Jesus.
Okay, so listen. And I'm gonna fuck it up, but I'm gonna do my best. Okay, so she said one day she's just running her museum like normal, blah, blah, blah. These 3 ladies come from like, I forget what it was, like an hour away or something. They're from Nebraska, but they're from a very small town of only like 50 people, right? So it's these 3 ladies just like having a girl day, whatever the fuck. So they come, they walk through the museum, they get the tour, blah, blah, blah. So then one of the ladies is standing out in the driveway, and she's like, looks like pissed, or like looks like she's going to throw up. And she's like, what the fuck? So she goes out there and she's like, can I help you? Like, are you okay? And the lady's like really upset. And she's like, I didn't know if she was going to throw up. I don't know if she was going to pass out. Like, and she's like, why don't you come back in the museum and talk to me? So the lady comes back in and the lady's like, I have a fucking story for you, but before I even bother telling you, you have to believe me. And Harriet's like, yeah, I'm gonna believe you. She's like, no, you have to, like, I'm not gonna bother, like, you have to believe me. And Harriet's like I've been a Bigfooter for fucking since I was 8. I've heard it all. Like, of course I'm gonna believe you. So anyway, the lady tells the story of this little ass town that she's from, where it started where there was this guy and he had 5 sons, and I guess at World War II or something, like they all went off. And I guess usually around that time, like, you would send your kids off and like not get them all back, right? So for whatever reason, this guy got all of his kids back, and it was like such a fucking exciting thing and like such a lucky thing. So had all this, like, he was very patriotic, blah blah blah. So in this town, there's this little cemetery that was just like the only fucking thing in town, and it was kind of like a weird meeting place, and the whole little town took a lot of like pride in the cemetery, and they would like walk down there and trim it and pull weeds and plant flowers, and everybody just like took care of it. It was like the shit, like the whole like meeting point of the town. So he's like, having this moment, I'm really excited. He's like, I'm gonna buy this giant, like really impressive flag for the cemetery, and for as long as I live, on Veterans Day and Memorial Day, I'll go down to the cemetery and I'll raise it and I'll bring it down and I'll take care of the flag and put it in the box and make sure it's fine, and that'll be my job. And the cemetery was like, yeah, that would be great, that would be wonderful, whatever. So everybody, over generations and fucking generations, everybody saw this flag, right? That guy passed, it got passed down to another guy. Then that guy couldn't do it anymore, so then it got passed down to another guy. And it's this same flag that's been in this town for like freaking 80 years, right? So then the lady who's telling the story to Harriet, she's like, so 3 years ago, it was like, I don't know, what was a festival or an anniversary or something. So all these people go to this cemetery, and it was like the best weekend ever, and everybody's bringing their kids that they've watched grow up. And it was like literally generations of people that have grown up in this town and went to the cemetery, right? So they were all there on Friday and Saturday. Then on Sunday, they all go to church. This lady walks down to the cemetery by herself on Sunday morning and looks up, and the flag is fucking destroyed, ripped to shreds. And I guess people were coming out to see it and like fucking sobbing, like their heart was broken, like it was the fucking most important thing in the whole city. So they were like, if anybody catches who does this, like, it's a felony, we're going to prosecute, blah, blah, blah. Who would do this? Everybody in this town has grown up here. Nobody would fucking do this. So they never got any answers, right? So then this lady, the day she comes to Harriet's museum, she goes through the museum, gets to the fucking horse part and the part with the ropes from the farms, and it clicks in her head what the fuck happened to the flag. And she's like, a Bigfoot took the flag down and braided it and knotted it and ripped it up. It was a Bigfoot because it's got fucking red on it. And if you look at the knots in the horses and the ropes and everything, it's the exact, like, no human would do, there would be no reason for a human to take down a flag and do what it looks like. Like, there's no way. If they were intricately knotted and fucked up and ruined. And she was like, while she's telling Harriet, like, Harriet's like, oh my God. And Harriet's got her little stick in her hand, and she's like, while she's telling me this, she's getting so fucking mad, and she rips my stick out of my hand and she whacked it on the ground and broke my stick into my head. I was like, you broke my stick. She was so cute. She's like, the lady got so mad because she's like, this tradition in her town, and she's like, it got ruined by a fucking Bigfoot. So then she's like, I'm involved now. She's like, I gotta go to this small town and I gotta investigate and I gotta see this flag. So she goes there. And she, meets up with a guy whose job it was to take care of the flag at that point, and it's ruined now. And she walks into this bar where they had it, and they had it laid out on the pool table, and she sees it, and she's like, these are the exact same knots. These are the Bigfoot knots. I guess when like a, what do they call the casket flag, or like an official flag like that's been flown for a long time, you're supposed to burn it if it gets ruined. Yep. And she's like, you can't fucking burn it. She's like, it's history of your town, and it's Bigfoot history now. You can't get rid of this. And she's like, would you give it to me from our museum? And they're like, and they actually gave it to her, and it's fucking huge. So she's telling me the story in her living room. She's like, so do you want to see the flag? And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to see the flag. I'm like, where is it? I was so fucking stoked. So we go out to the outbuilding, and she's got it behind plexi, and it's on this big wall, and it's fucking crazy looking. It's like, no human did that. I know a human didn't do that. It's like braided into 3 intricate braids, all ripped up and like ruined. But like, it's weirdly beautiful because it's like, how did that happen? So I guess they've had 2 other flags get messed up like that since. And there's other stories of it across the country, and it's because whatever. But it was fucking crazy, right? That's
pretty crazy.
I know. And she okay, so yes.
Why is Bigfoot hate America so much?
I don't know. Why do they want to make braids out of red stuff? So, but that, I forgot part of the story, because she goes, okay, so, she went to that town and interviewed all these people and all the people down the chain of whatever. And they're like, yeah, for the last 3 years before that happened, all of this weird shit had been going on. And they all have different stories of different weirdness, and she's documenting everything. So then this sheriff, or she didn't know what he was. This guy walks into to the museum one day and he looks important and he just whatever. So he walks around and after he's like, she tells him the story and he's like, I just need to tell you that you're wrong. And she's like, I'm not wrong. And he's like, yeah, you are. She's like, no, I'm not. I went to the town a million times. I interviewed all these people by hand and wrote down what they fucking said by hand. I'm not wrong. And he goes, I need you to know that it wasn't 3 years. It's 30 years. I've been the sheriff in that town for 30 years and weird shit's been going on the entire time. He's like, there are like 14-inch Bigfoot tracks that I've seen myself during the whole time that I've been sheriff and all this stuff. And it, you know, nobody talks about it and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so she's all involved and she goes to the town a lot now and you can go there and see the flag. And it blew my mind, dude. She was such a good storyteller. I'm like, I will sit here for fucking 3 days. I love you, Harriet. Like I feel like we're best fucking friends now. She's so cute. We took pictures together. They're having a Bigfoot conference there. In April of 2023, she wants me to go. She wants Lauren to go there. We have to go there. She's like, you better come back. Oh, and then, so yeah, she wrote a whole book about this story that I just told and all the old photos and stories from the people in the town. And she signed me the book and I have it. And it was the best. Isn't that cute? Is that cute?
That's pretty cute.
I know. I love her. She's the best. We need more ladies in Bigfoot and paranormal.
Yes, indeed.
She's the best. Wait till you see my picture. I have pictures of her, and then I have a video of the place on our Patreon video that'll be out soon. And I have a picture of her next to like one of the Bigfoot that's in the living room, and she looks so fucking tiny.
Do you know that you're talking about Bigfoot and seeing red?
Yeah, what?
Do you know that primates are the only animals that can see the color red?
See, what the fuck?
Like toad can't see red.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's bichromatic. He doesn't have red cones in his eyes, so he can't see the color red. Neither can cats. But primates have trichromatic vision, so they have red cones in their eyes so they can see the color red.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. If you saw that and it was like the only bright color you saw, you'd want to like play with whatever it was.
Well, that's one of those things, like it's that weird thing, like, you know how they wave red flags in front of a bull?
Oh, yeah.
But bulls can't see red. They're just reacting to the movement. It could be any color.
Well, they also squeeze their balls with a rope, don't they?
It's all pretty terrible when it comes to bullfighting.
Yeah.
But anyway, primates, we can see red.
Yeah, that like blew my mind. Like, what are the odds that those three ladies would even go to the Bigfoot Museum? It was just like a random, like, fun girls' day that they were doing. And then
now I'm going to have to call Lauren and thank him for putting up with your nonsense.
I know. It was so great. I swear to you, like, that was one of the highlights of my whole trip. Like, I loved it. The whole property, she had like signs and cute stuff. And
you've spent more time with Harriet than you have with me in the past 2 weeks.
I know. You would too. She was the shit. She had on like a camouflage shirt and a fucking big belt buckle. She had on like a full Bigfoot outfit. So cute. She was so cute. She had on different
You gave her COVID?
No, I didn't. No, I tested neg by then. She had different like installations in the museum. She had one for Jeff Meldrum. She had one for Cliff Barackman.
If you gave Bigfoot COVID, I'm going to be so mad.
I didn't. I went after. I tested neg on Thursday and I went there on Friday morning. I was fine. Everything's fine. But it was magical. My whole fucking trip was so magical. I'm sure I'm forgetting shit. There's going to be several more Patreon videos coming out of all my adventures and...
All right, now I'll tell you about my magical trip to Europe.
Okay, go.
Okay, that didn't happen.
Well, that is really, really great. It sounds really nice.
Yes, very sad for me.
I know, I hate it. You're going to go, though. You'll go.
Probably not, no. Whatever.
No, you'll go.
I try and not be sad about things. I'm happy that I didn't go and get COVID while I was there. I'm happy that I didn't give anybody COVID. I'm happy that I didn't get stuck somewhere having COVID. Like, that's all great. And I try and look on the bright side of things. But also, like I think I told you on the phone, like this would have been my first big, huge trip where I wasn't concerned the whole time with my mother's well-being. Yeah. So like there was this like freeingness that was going to come from going on this trip that will now have to wait again.
Yeah, I get that, and that sucks, obviously, but I feel like it did happen for a reason. We don't know what that is yet, but I think it'll be better when you can do the trip all your way and not like just partially your way because you're like part of a group, you know?
Yeah.
We're good solo travelers.
Yeah.
And it'll just give you more time to research and maybe you'll like know a new friend by then that you can visit or something. Like, you know, there'll be like some kind of weird.
I had to email my friends so many of the people that I was supposed to meet up with in England and be like, well, I'm not coming.
Meow, meow.
Meow, meow.
I know I had to tell some people in California that I wasn't coming because I was originally going to go from Vegas to California and then drive home, but I'm like, now I've got fucking lingering Rona. I can't go further out from my house than I already am. So I just like started back. Oh, and then I was going to take the south route home and go to like Grand Canyon and stuff, but it was so fucking hot out there. I'm like, I can't go to these places right now. It's impossible. So the only thing in my head was I'm like, I'm going straight up. It is, as long as I go up, it'll get cooler. And like as soon as I got to like Salt Lake City and then one over to like Wyoming, it got better. Like when we were in that park I told you about when I started crying, it was like when I got out of the car, it was fucking 50 degrees on the mountain and it was so good.
I have a quick question that has nothing to do with anything that I just thought about now because I touched my leg.
Okay, sure.
I have a lot of moles.
Cool.
I don't know if, or I don't know. Is that what they're just called? I've always called them moles, but what are they? Other
There's
moles?
like things that I would call like a beauty mark or like little dots, but then there's like moles that are like bigger ones.
There's moles, beauty marks, strawberry dots. Like there's a whole. Here's the thing. I don't understand how they just appear one day.
Well, we're not dermatologists, so
I just think it's weird that like I can wake up in the morning and look at my knee and be like, there's a new mole there that wasn't there the night before.
that's weird. I don't think that happens to me.
Well, your body's all covered with nonsense.
I know, maybe it is happening. Who knows?
That's all. I just had a question because I saw this new mole on my knee.
Well, you have to finish your book about neviomancy,
I know.
skin
And I have to
magic.
finish my Haunted House Kids book.
I have things I'm working on too, but I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not going to say it.
We have Michigan Paracon in a month. I'm gonna wear a mask, bro. I'm not getting sick again.
I'm not getting sick again either.
I know. There's like no booster yet that covers the new things.
I'm going to get one of those big respirator masks.
Yeah, let's get fish tank bubble heads.
Oh, I would wear a fish tank bubble head tomorrow. Walk around like a fucking 50s spaceman robot. And I'm on it.
Bro, we can make those by then. How can we have an air pack?
I could figure it out.
Oh my god, this is great.
I could
Because if
figure it
people
out.
could just take pictures with us, and then they wouldn't like be missing out on taking pictures with us. It would just be like more fun.
I could build us something. We need to go to a pet store because I could build us something out of some fish tank aquariums. We could get some plexi round fish tank aquariums
Mm-hmm.
and put them over our heads, and I could put a sealer at the bottom so they would be sealed on our chest.
Yeah.
And then I could run like an air hose to it.
Yeah.
We could walk around and be space people.
Yeah. Yeah, if people
How would
can walk around and be Ghostbusters, I can be a space head.
I'm down for being a space head.
We
How
would
do I
make it-
smoke though?
Well, you could take your helmet off outside.
Oh, I could create an extra tube for cigarettes. I could have a tube for air, and then I could have another tube where I would like hold the cigarette and put the cigarette in the tube, and then the tube would go up to my mouth.
You're going to suffocate yourself in a fish head and die.
That's probably a lot more likely.
I know. It's going to be the little ass Sault Ste. Marie local news. Man dies in a fucking fish tank head.
Fish tank spaceman dies.
Did I miss anything? I went to a conjure shop in Omaha. Got magic things. Got stuff for you and Bex and Katie.
I cleaned all my altars this week.
I got to do that.
I'm so happy. Everything is now organized. I relabeled all of my magical accoutrements, so I know what's in the bottles now. I'm not just doing it from memory.
Totes. I got a really nice dressed chicken foot from the conjure shop.
You got chicken feet.
I do have chicken feet.
That's it. I'm exhausted.
I know, me too. One more thing. My friend Jeff, he was in Dillinger Escape Plan for a while. He's in this Detroit band called Old Gods. He's sick as fuck. He like makes horror movies and shit.
You know what my band Smokehouse was called before Smokehouse?
What?
New Gods.
Nice. I had posted pictures that I was at the Stanley, and he was like, I got a really good ghost photo there. Do you want to see it? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to see it. So he DM'd it to me. It's fucking really good. Like, he took a picture in a mirror, and he took it twice. So in the first one, it's just him standing in the mirror, and you could see like his outline and his legs. And in the second picture, there's fucking extra legs. Like one, like if it was standing behind him, but a little bit to the side, like one is in between his legs and one is to the side, and it's not his fucking legs.
So he says.
It's one of the better pictures I've seen, like better. I was really impressed. I'm like, I've seen a lot of these and they're usually terrible, but this one's pretty good. I'll show it to you when we're allowed to see each other again.
All right. Are we supposed to go and see that Jordan Peele movie?
Yeah. But Katie's coming on Friday. We're going to go with Katie too.
If I'm testing negative, I can go.
Yeah. Well, you said your 10 days is in
Soon.
Yeah, 2 days.
We'll see.
You should be fine. I tested neg on my 11th day.
We'll see.
It'll be okay. I mean, if you're not, we can wait. We can go like Sunday if you're not ready on Friday.
Guess who's coming to my house this month?
Who?
My dad.
Oh no. Is he gonna stay there?
For one night.
Oh God, don't kill each other.
I'll put up with him for one night. Maybe I'll give him COVID.
Don't say that. Why is he even coming?
He's coming down because he wants to see some of his friends for one last time.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Grim.
Yeah, sounds grim.
Is he gonna sign you over his tractor?
His little ATV that he bought.
You don't get that in the will? What the fuck? Who gets it?
Who knows?
He's probably gonna give it to me.
Give it to you for sure.
He loves me.
He does. A lot more than me.
What if your dad leaves me something?
I mean, you're going to end up getting something because he's going to, if he ever dies, like my sister and I and brother-in-law and nephew will get everything, and then you can have whatever you want. You can have some of his, like, his Revenant Blu-ray.
I can have his Twilight collection. I actually would take that.
You can have his Twilight collection. He's got all of the Sopranos on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I want that too.
Yeah.
You can't pick up all your dad's stuff when he's still alive. We gotta stop.
My dad doesn't know what he has.
I know. Well, talking about it is weird.
All right, fine. I'm done. I'm tired.
What did we say we're gonna call this episode? What did I say?
Something like Red Hot Banger Car or something like that.
Oh yeah, hot.
Hot Wet Wine Car.
Yes, hot. I don't remember. You'll find it.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Are you glad I'm home?
I'm very happy that you're home. Have you mowed your lawn yet?
Absolutely not. I've also not unpacked yet.
Oh my God.
I watched 2 movies yesterday. I finally watched The New Invisible Man.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
It's great, right?
It was great. It was way better. Listen, and I thought it was like not widely. I'm surprised it was widely liked.
Yeah, me too.
It was very dark and it was very quiet. There was barely any dialogue. I'm like, how did this do so well? This is like a movie for real horror people, not like everybody.
But it's a good movie. It's a good blend of horror and sci-fi.
It was great. Elizabeth Moss was the shit in it. So that was really good. And then I watched A Simple Favor yesterday again, which is
Why is Elizabeth Moss got to be a Scientologist?
I don't know. That sucks.
What's up with those people, man?
I don't know. Maybe that's why she's such a good actor. She's just like tormented.
It's like that Tom Cruise thing. They're a really good actor because they're just Xenu's got them dead inside.
For real. I still want to see that Top Gun movie.
I have no desire whatsoever to see the Top Gun movie.
I've never seen the original and I just want to see the new one.
But I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. The Michelle Yeoh multi-dimensional kung fu action family thriller. And I enjoyed it.
It's for me.
It's for me.
Good job.
All right, that's all I got.
Okay, I swear I'm done now.
Okay, I'll talk to you probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Testing my lung capacity.